All right, so today we're going to go over how to write an argumentative paragraph. And we're using the same article that we used when you did your argumentative assessment. It's the football article. And our question is, should kids be allowed to play football? Now, I really don't have a stand on this, but after reading the article, I see that I think it's going to be a little easier to prove that kids shouldn't be able to play football. And sometimes that's the best way to go. Even if you don't quite agree with the opinion, if you read an article or a couple articles and you think it's easier to prove the side you don't agree with, that's okay. All right, so right now we have up a graphic organizer, and this should be pretty familiar. This is one we've been using the past few times. And we need to come up with a topic sentence. So remember, the topic sentence is just turning the question into a statement. So again, my question is, should kids be allowed to play football? So my topic sentence is going to be, kids shouldn't be allowed to play football. And I can even shorten it up a little bit. You just put, kids shouldn't play football. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is come up with a reason why kids shouldn't play football. And as I'm coming up with this reason, this is something that I'm thinking of. It doesn't come from the article, it comes from me. But as I'm coming up with this reason, I need to be able to prove it using something from the article. So I'm kind of keeping that in mind as I'm thinking. And the first reason I came up with is it can cause lifelong injuries. So I'm going to write that in my reason 1. All right, so now that I have that reason, I have to be able to prove that reason using the article. And that's going to go in my evidence place. So I'm going to go back to my article. All right, and remember, now I paraphrase this quite a bit, because remember this story here, this whole thing is about a kid who played football in middle school, and he got injured. All right, so I took that story and I actually went to the end, and this is where I really had my information, is right here. So he's 17 now, and it says that he still gets headaches once in a while. Okay, so that's where the majority of my evidence came from. All right, so we're going to go back to our graphic organizer, and we're going to write, and we're going to give credit to the text. We're going to show we didn't get it here. The text says, Isaiah still gets headaches from his football injury. All right, so now I'm coming up with another reason. Remember, the reason comes from me. It doesn't come from the article, but I need to be able to prove that reason from the article. So my second reason is, it's the most dangerous sport. Okay, now I need to go back to my article again and prove why I think it's the most dangerous sport. All right, this came from the second page of our article. And we're looking down where it says, can football be safe? And it says, let's see. Some fans point out that injuries can happen in any sport, from soccer, skateboarding. If we got rid of football, where would we draw the line? But on the other hand, no sport has more concussions than football. Okay, and that's a pretty powerful sentence, so I'm actually going to quote this sentence, and that's always a good method. So we're going to put, the author writes, quote, no sport has more concussions than football. End quote. Okay, now we're coming up with our third reason. Again, this reason comes from me, not the article. And I'm going to say it can get in the way of school. All right, so now I need to go back to the article and prove it. And this was on the last page. And it's up in the first part here. It says, and again, college players often make football rather than learning their first priority, which puts them at a disadvantage when they look for jobs. And that's something, again, I think I could paraphrase and prove my point pretty well. So I'm going to give the article credit. So I'm going to put the article explains sometimes football can take priority over college classes. Now, the last thing I need to do is I need to come up with a conclusion sentence. Remember, a conclusion sentence just re-says the topic sentence in a different way. So our topic sentence says kids shouldn't play football. So my conclusion sentence, I'm going to say football is too dangerous for kids to play. Okay, so my next step is we're going to turn this graphic organizer into a paragraph. And this is really easy. All we have to do is follow the same organization. So we're going to start with our topic sentence. So we're going to put kids shouldn't play football. Okay, so our next thing we're going to put is our reason one. So reason one says it can cause lifelong injuries. Okay, the next thing I'm going to put is my evidence and example one. The text says Isaiah still gets headaches from his football injury. Then I'm moving down to reason two. It's the most dangerous sport. Then I'm moving to evidence two. The author writes, no sport has more concussions than football. Then we're moving to reason three. It can get in the way of, I'm not sure what happened there, in the way of school. There we are, back in business here. Okay, looks like we have a little typo here to fix. Can get in the way of school. Okay, now that was reason three, so we're going to go to evidence three. The article explains sometimes football can take priority over college classes. And the last thing we do is we put our concluding sentence in there. Football is too dangerous for kids to play. And we have a typo we need to fix. Alright, so this is what we're going to have you do again for your retake. The only thing is I'm going to give you a different article. It's going to be on Miley Cyrus. And you're going to read the article, fill out this graphic organizer,